And his opponent spawning down in the bottom left for the Shopify Rebellion. She is the Queen of Blades, Scarlett. Oh, and she's doing something cheeky right out the gate. She's going up to 17 drones. That's a quick pool. We talk about shenanigans. We talk about early stuff. She says, I want none of this. I do not want to die to something early on. And I think against a player like Cham, she is going to be confident against him in a macro game. But you don't want to give up too many advantages because he is a scary player in his own right. Now, we got to mention something about Cham right now. He is playing with a small extra disadvantage over the other players. He is one of the players whose luggage was lost during transport. That sucks. That really sucks. That means you're probably not playing on your ideal gear. You're just not comfortable. You're not settled. People think about, oh, the mechanics, you know, blah, 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 all that. And obviously that's extremely important. But being in your comfort zone, that's a huge deal when you're playing at this absolute top level.
Now, the good news, Steadfast, as you talk about that, is the fact that he only lost half of his luggage. They lost one of his bags and not the other. So I hear he was walking around. He had like one shoe and like apparently there was like one shoe in each bag, which is really awkward. But
that's tragically hilarious.
Right. But the good news there at least is hopefully some of his gear made it through. But yeah, you're going to feel unsettled. You just have that little bit of extra stress. But for now, I mean, he's not doing anything that is going to put his opponent under all that much stress. And I don't know if you've been following the different interviews that have been going out, different players are talking about things, but foreigners at least, no one practices ZVZ. Because there are so few ZVZs that happen, and it actually makes more sense to not practice, so no one practices, rather than have some people practice and some not, and then you're giving competitive advantages to some and disadvantages versus others. But Cham historically has had very good ZVZ. He's taken down Dark in the WTL, but for now, this is an old school build. All right, we got a layer on the way very quickly. We got a Roach run down to the natural. Seems like we're gonna see some level of like Speed Roach type of pressure coming in this first game.
Yeah, it's a 2-base opener. These are, well, they're a bit of an enigma. You can't really figure out what's going on. We got a quick second gas that opens the door for mutas here. Even if it is that +1 missile, with the tight choke here, you don't need the extra Evo chamber right away. It's just generally speaking a nice situation for the 2-base player, in the sense that Scarlett's not going to be able to identify exactly what's going on, and we could see a combination of speed roaches and mutas. This is something that Bly, the Ukrainian Zerg player, used to do a lot in this matchup. By the way, these two lings are actually quite a nuisance for Scarlett. Cham has the HP advantage. So he's been able to do more with 2 lings than you would really ever expect. He put in like almost 500 damage on this hatchery with just 2 Zerglings with great micro. Scarlett will finally clean this up with the extra few Zerglings she has. And she's actually going up to 16 Zerglings. So she's going to apply, well, 18 Zerglings. She's going to apply a little bit of pressure at the front. And actually, hang on, if Cham doesn't build an extra Evo chamber behind this, there is a lot of surface area to hit these queens. No, but the roaches are going to be out in time. Scarlett still might be able to get 1 queen. But nope, she's gonna back away. Cham getting out with the roaches just in the nick of time. And it's only, actually, hang on. It's only 2 gas for now for Cham. Oh, what is it? Is this gonna be like a 2 gas expand? He's droning now. This is such a strange little opener here from Cham. I'm very curious about this. Normally you go 3 gas roach off 2 bases.
Yeah, I'm wondering whether this is almost some level of, well, part of it might be mind games as Cham finds himself briefly supply blocked, but, and Sasha is responding, right? She does have a spine on the way. She is biting on this, but it almost, you wonder whether it's like, okay, I'm going to build some roaches. I'm going to put some pressure with speed and +1, but I'm going to get a, I'm going to get a third behind it, and I'm going to find some of my advantage by my opponent overreacting. But Scarlett right now, she's up 8 workers. Her army supply is not all that far behind. She has 1 spine ready, second one just about on the way. She will not have speed. Of course, the roach speed is going to be very far off, but she's got queens. Queens at the front here, though. You want to have the roaches there, so Roach is going to try to dive on top, but the spine is done. Ling's coming from the backside, trying to force the roaches to take that fight, but, well, the Lings for now, they will run away, but anything that happens right now is just buying time for Scarlett. Cham not even going to be able to take advantage of the fact that that 3rd base is so low, because Well, Scarlett has read into this well enough. She has the roaches out right now. She's already very confident that she has this held, droning behind it. And the opener from Cham, what has it done for him? I mean, I guess he's up in workers right now, but I don't feel like this has gotten him anywhere near what he needs.
No, it hasn't, but it was in a weird way, less committed, even though it was off lower drones, since it was only the 2 gas setup. He was able to take a quicker third base with this. He gets up into the fast +2 missile. He's getting now Roach, Burrow, and Tunneling Claws. Burrow and Tunneling Claws. This is a very funny way to play this. Scarlett, ooh, this is interesting. Instead of going for +2 missile, and just accepting that she's going to be behind in the upgrade timing, she's going to get the slightly faster +1 carapace. 1-1 roaches versus 2-0 is an upgrade advantage for sure for Cham, but it's not as big of an upgrade advantage as it might seem. It's only 1 damage point value more per shot, and that's something, but it's not necessarily game breaking. It's going to come down more to the concave than anything. Scarlett, though, excellent spine crawler positioning. Without that spine crawler, she might just get run over by that roach pressure. And it was a pressure because Cham was droning behind it. He actually got up in workers for a little bit. Now it is Scarlett who is springboarded back ahead. But yeah, this has been an interesting game so far. A lot of technical moves coming in terms of the drone timings and whatnot. But now Cham is getting geared up to hit his timing.
Yeah, and Scarlett, I mean, she seems like she's got a read on this already. She's got an overseer with a bunch of roaches guarding the natural, so no large amount of roaches are going to burrow their way in and find some value there. She's buttoned down. Like, she is aware of what potentials are, and she's responding to them appropriately. That's going to be it's interesting. She's getting that second spine with the carapace. Now, Steadfast, I know in TVZ you talk about how all roads lead to 8 racks. I guess maybe in ZVZ all road leads to carapace timings, regardless of how it is. But okay, here we go. Burrowed roaches on the right side, Cham on the left. Scarlett gets the immediate scout with the spines with the roaches, responding to that one. Bile's not really hitting her army all that much either, and she does have that defensive spine. So as long as she's going to be able to match things, Bile's again, Bile's, massive Bile's coming on there on Cham. But the roaches on the backside going to try to find a little bit more. Roaches have found their way into the main base. Scarlett seemed well positioned to defend this, but the spine, okay, repositions, and Scarlett, my Bile's not bad. In the main base, she's not taking that much damage either, so she just needs to rely on her reinforcements. I don't know if any queens have gone down, but she is taking this fight just evenly enough that it seems like she's holding on everywhere, as razor's edge as this is, and the supply leads continue to grow. Now Scarlett up about 10-15 army supply. She holds on right here, and, well, Cham did not get anywhere nearly the amount of damage he wanted, even as it looked like he had really good opportunities to find that.
Absolutely, he did. He hit his timing so unbelievably perfectly. Now Scarlett finds a bunch of these roaches on the left side, but I mean, even before that, she was already starting to pull ahead in supply. That's even gravy on top. A great defense from Scarlett. She clears up all the roaches in the main base. She could not have read this better if, you know, she was using Duolingo or, I don't know, Google Lens or something. Terrible analogy, but a great defense from Scarlett. Really nailed it down, battened down the hatches. The only thing I didn't like specifically was the one spine reburrow on the top side, but she managed to get away with it. And now she is just amazingly ahead in this game. It will still be difficult to kill her opponent. Ooh, but there's no Overlord speed for Cham. So he's going to have a tough time keeping any of his Overlords alive against corrosive bile setups. Ooh, Scarlett, nice contaminate here. And she's actually got more roaches on the top left side by 1 or 2. No, it's dead even, actually. So it will come down to the main fight. Scarlett is going to retreat from here. Wise decision. Cham is close enough in army supply that with a good concave and good corrosive biles on ramps, he can hold. And especially, he does still have this small upgrade advantage. 2-0 versus 1-1 for now, and soon to actually be 2-1 versus 1-1.
And that is actually where the Overseer Contaminate really matters, because Scarlett tries to punch up the ramp. Again, her army is not as strong, right, with the carapace, with the lack of carapace. But okay, we'll talk about this in just a second as this fight finishes up, because Scarlett now tries to punch up the ramp. Bile's in a good position to hit, but Scarlett pulls back in time. And now she's starting to establish a pretty nice concave here. But the roaches at the front, they're pretty wounded, so it's going to be a fighting retreat for Scarlett for the moment. But what I want to talk about is the tech building that is going down if Scarlett gives us an opportunity. It's a Hydra Den, and we've had some conversations, I know you and I, about maybe Hydras being a useful thing in this matchup, as that's going to be a dead Ravager. because they are so much faster. But now Scarlett does not eat the vials, moves in, takes the queen down, and again, this is a better concave. Cham may be forced to give this position up, but the roaches, in fact now, because a lot of the roaches there from Cham are not with the army, but now the rest of his army joins in. Scarlett maybe has been baited into a bit too far forward position, and Cham gets on top of things. The vials, though, they're going to land massive on top of all of his Ravagers. Scarlett dodges hers, and now, well, Scarlett, big run by on the north side, may get that base down. She wins the fight on the right side, and now more roaches are on the way, but she has the opportunity to transition out of this, right? We see Hydra speed on the way. These are going to be Hydras that are a part of the army, not just for some level of lurker play later on.
Yeah, these are not pre-lurkers. These are real fighting units. They actually exist in the game and can do something of value. We are going to see Cham pushing through Scarlett, pushing her back, I should say. Scarlett did kill 10 drones during all this, which doesn't seem like a big deal, but neither player can drone right now. So Scarlett's just going to have a 10-worker lead. She will have to be careful because that means that Cham is going to have a 10 army supply lead. So she is going to have to fight defensively around spines, but she got the... Well, actually, the Carapace timing isn't even that much faster. This is such a similar game considering how this is played out. Ooh, Corrosive Biles once again being dodged. I wonder if and when she starts adding these Hydras on. Looks like not yet. She's going to go for the infestation pit, but she's going to go for the fight as well. Better concave for Cham at the bottom of this ramp. Scarlett, ooh, she might have just bitten off more than she can chew. Oh, but the Corrosive Biles do land home, taking down 2 Ravagers in the backfield. That's very nice for Scarlett, and that will kind of break the momentum of this push. Meanwhile, Roach attack in the main base. How did this even get here? These aren't Burrow Tunneling Claws roaches. These are just roaches. And actually, Scarlett, oh, if she kills the 4th base.
Oh, she's been working so hard on this for so long, and she's going to get it. So now Cham, he wasn't really mining off of the 4th base. Oh, big vials. She's going to get 2 bases for the price of 0. That's actually massive here.
2 bases for the price of fun, and she is going to lose a couple of units here on the retreat. Uh-oh. Actually, she might lose a lot of... Uh-oh. She's going to lose all this army for that. Oh, man, that was a huge pickoff, but she might have just reached a little too deeply into the cookie jar. She has lost a lot of army supply. She's down now 30 army supply. The Concave and the Hydras are going to do their best to hold, and this might be enough to just discourage Cham away from this position, but he realizes this is his time. Oh, Ravager finishing in the nick of time right there, just barely finishing. Hydras adding on so much DPS into this fight, but is it enough? It is so close.
Yeah, remember, and if this goes longer, Scarlett, she's going to have the production, she's going to have the larva, and, well, here comes Cham. He's trying to find his way forward. The roaches, they just continue to headbutt. Scarlett, she even has the Carapace upgrade now, so at least that, it's a little bit more, but Steadfast, it seems like, at least for the moment, Cham is going to be able to punch through here. 18 drones have gone down, and Scarlett, while, again, her economy may have been better, and she has more production, it's just this army right here that it does not seem that she can kill. Reinforcements, they try to make the job happen, but Scarlett, she did reach too deeply into that cookie jar, and she came up with Weevils. Cham takes game 1.
Very well done right there. We even saw some cheeky Tunneling Claws Burrow Roach play, using them like Blink Stalkers there to get the regeneration, get them out of the fight. And damn, Cham, he was on the back foot for so much of that game, and Scarlett just overextends just a little bit. Cham gets that wraparound around on the 3rd base and is able to crush the army and just uses that to his advantage. I mean, it's easy to say it in hindsight, but Scarlett needed to give up that 4th base. She killed 2 bases of her opponent. If she gives up that base, she backs away, you know, kind of turtles into a bigger concave through the natural, buys herself a little bit more time. I think she can probably get the job done, but unfortunately doesn't do it.
Yeah. And that's crazy, right? If you think about how close that was. There was a moment where Cham's trying to headbutt up the ramp, and I'm like, okay, Hydra concave, spines, roaches on top. Even with the supply disadvantage, it feels like it looked like the fight might almost work. And then that really would be the last big round of production that Cham would have. It all came through at once, and then suddenly, well, Scarlett couldn't hold on anymore. It runs forward. I don't even know if she really holds on, even if she sacks the 4th. It's not like Cham had that much further to run into her 3rd base, into something like that, but certainly an interesting game. And certainly a game that had us very excited, but you were going to say something. Sorry.
No, it's all good. At the very least, if she pulls back, then maybe the hatchery is, maybe it tanks a few roach shots. maybe it gives her just a little bit more time. It's tricky to see. I think the big thing is just that she just went too deep. She just went too deep. Didn't get enough army out, and Cham, he took the opportunity and he punished hard, and now Scarlett is on the verge of being eliminated here in the round of 36. She's going to have to focus up to try and fight back.
Well, let's see if she can make that happen as we are moving to Grayvon. Grayvon for game 2. And folks, in the upper left now, in the blue, she's down a game. She had a great opportunity, but really just let it sift through her fingertips. For the Rebellion, Scarlett.
And her opponent seizing on the smallest of missteps and punishing hard. For Team GP, it is Cham. And you really see why he was able to take down so many amazing opponents in the World Team League. His ZVZ, especially his ZVZ, is so dangerous. You just give him an inch and he will take a mile. And it may not seem like that big of a deal because, you know, Scarlett, she overcommitted. But just being able to give himself that opportunity and create a win condition off the back of such a difficult situation, it really shows a lot of grit, and it shows a great understanding of the matchup.
Well, Steadfast, you talk about understanding of matchups. It is interesting, I guess. Scarlett has been, and I guess it has been proven to her that Cham is maybe not going to do something super like some sort of 12 pool, some sort of 13-13-12, something like that. And certainly Grayvon is one of the bigger maps, 37-second rush distance. So we both see, you know, pool first or hatch first here coming out of Scarlett, coming out of Cham, just kind of acknowledging that, okay, we're going to go into the mid game. You know, we're going to go and play a little more. And remember, that was a game that Scarlett, that was a great hold. I think she lost a little bit more, but that was a game where she did open pool first and technically was a little disadvantaged macro-wise in that first game and still probably should have won it. This time, her macro is going to be just a little bit faster.
Yeah, it certainly is. I do have to say it was a quality game from Scarlett right up until the overcommitment on the third. And you know what? Who can blame her for that? She corrosive biled it down. The thing is, if she had like 1 or 2 more corrosive biles, she can disengage a little bit faster from that position and gets out of there just a little bit easier. And maybe she saves like 10 extra roaches and doesn't even come close to dying to the counterattack because she was still so close to holding, even despite throwing away like 30 army supply. So she saves, you know, maybe 10, 16 army supply. That's a massive difference maker, and I think she probably wins that game. But we got to talk about this game for now because we've got Cham with a slightly faster Baneling Nest. They are both going Ling Bane to start things up, but Cham, he has cut drones a little bit earlier, and it looks like he wants to put on some very heavy pressure.
That he does. So Baneling Nest is done. More and more Lings are on the way. It's interesting because normally you cut workers at 28. You go for that. He cut at 26, built a lot of Lings, and then got those extra 2 workers.
Oh.
Regardless, nice little bit of micro there coming in from Scarlett, trapping a Ling. But here comes Cham across the map. More and more Lings on the way. Scarlett got the idea that some of this was happening, so already she's got Banelings morphing in, and this is a great scout. On the high ground, Overlord moves forward. She sees the Banelings from Cham morphing in, so she knows where this is. She knows where this pressure is coming from. She already has 2 Banelings morphed in, but still, there are not enough Lings just yet, so that's a lot of damage going down on this third base. Scarlett is going to be forced to do something. Decent Baneling connection there, and now Cham backs up for just a second, but here come the Banelings trundling forward. 4 of them. Yeah, Scarlett's just going to get some damage on them on the hope that Queens or Banelings can get them later on. But behind this, Cham seems to be backing up for the moment. Roach Warren going down, and he was droning off that pressure. He's now up a worker. Yep. This just seems to be working out pretty well. Got to be careful. Baneling takes some damage. But okay, 3 on the right side. That's the scary thing.
Yes, and I mean, we talk about it all the time. Knife fight in a phone booth. It's a cliche that's overused, but it. Oh! Whoa! Well, no. Well, yeah. Okay. She gets stabbed pretty brutally in that phone booth there. Oh God. that happens. But we got to mention Cham. Oh, okay. This is a huge scout for Scarlett. She sees the Roach Warren. She sees the second gas. And she sees that this is probably going to be a big commitment out of Cham. Did she catch on? If she doesn't start a layer, if she starts up Roach production, immediately she knows what's up. But her Roach Warren is not yet done. She doesn't have any gas in the bank, doesn't have any money in the bank, and she did lose a lot of those lanes, so she's trying to replenish. This is such a scary timing right now. And Scarlett, she realizes it. She starts up a spine. She might need more than just one. She might need like 3 or 4.
Yeah, she needs so much here. Now she's going to try to clear these big Bailey connections again. And yeah, okay, she's going to get on top of the morphing Baileys. She's not even going to do that one. And here come the Roaches. What does Scarlett have even? She's got 4 lings. She's got 3 Roaches are on the way. Scarlett may just be dead here, Steadfast. And that would be, again, one of the bigger upsets we're seeing today. Scarlett getting knocked out first round of the lower bracket. But first, we got to see if she can hold. The spine is not done yet. It's there soon. But big superior concave of the Roaches of Cham already. Scarlett's adding more Roaches, though. Oh, great micro there back from Cham. And, you know, Scarlett is starting to look like she might make the hold happen, but here come the reinforcements of Cham. This is what really matters in the Roaches of Scarlett. They continue to fall here, but the Spine's actually adding so much here. Supply is actually starting to go very much in favor of Scarlett, and it's a razor's edge hold, Steadfast. It did not look good, but Scarlett had the scout right at the right time. The Spine finishes pixel perfect, timing perfect, second perfect. She holds on, and now she's in a great spot.
Yeah. An excellent hold from Scarlett there. Cham was droning out of this pretty early, so he's actually ahead a couple of workers right now. Scarlett did have to cancel her +1 missile. Wise decision that she did that, but she's actually not as ahead as it might seem because Cham droned so early. Scarlett, oh, she gets supply blocked at 90. That actually is going to almost completely erase her lead. She didn't have the layer. She didn't have the +1 missile. Really, the only advantage that she retains out of this is the faster Evo. Cham already has a layer done. He should be starting either a Spire or the plus. Oh, it is going to be a Spire. Ooh, all right. I was going to say either the Roach Speed or the Spire, but I do like the Spire very much because this is one of those messy games where it's hard to know exactly what the game state is. So unless Scarlett goes for a huge shove, oh, Bailey's sneaking into the third base, but Scarlett with the drone pull in time, she gets out of there. This is such a scary situation, though, for both players. You don't really know what the game state is. Like I said, oh, nice dodge on the growth spiles by Cham.
And let's talk about also what this pressure from Cham got him, because, you know, he didn't kill Scarlett. Workers are equal. But Scarlett, if she had any thought of a layer, it's going to be very delayed there. I don't know if he got it. Did he get a queen? He got a couple of queens from Scarlett.
Yeah,
and all
she
of
wasn't
that,
injecting during the whole thing, yeah.
Yeah, and all of that means now is that, okay, so Scarlett can only build queens out of 2 bases right now. Right, she's going to get well, I guess she's got her lair now, but queen production is not really going to be all that easy. Her Overlord Scout, Overseer Scout is going to be very late. It means this first Blutch of Mutas is not going to have the 4 queens or whatever you would want to try to defend it. There are spores may eventually get caught up because Scarlett is putting Overlords everywhere. She thinks this is a Roach game. You put Overlords to make sure you know what's happening. She's going to lose so many of them when these mutas pop.
Yeah, she gets the Overlord speed. I think as much as anything, that's because she's like, oh, crap. I sent like 7 Overlords forward and mutas could be popping out like very soon. But yeah, she's probably going to lose like 5 Overlords during all this. She does drop the Changeling. Okay, she's going to see the Spire at the natural. And she sees the mutas popping out. That's going to let her get a Hydra Den. She's going to get some spores. But how many Overlords does she lose? Actually, fortunately, Pneumatized Carapace is a very quick upgrade. And she did start it very quickly and kind of almost prematurely. So, like, in a good way. So that means she's actually not going to lose anywhere near as many Overlords as I thought she would. But she's building 7 spores. This is a lot of spores. Oh, this hatchery. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. If this hatchery goes down, that could be game. Okay, the Corrosive Biles will push this away. Scarlett repositioning a little bit, and the Queens are well set up to deal with this. But 4th base gets sniped by Cham. He's got a big Roach army right here.
Oh, and look at this read, too. The normal response to this is actually Scarlett gets on top of a lot of these Roaches, +1 and just dodging the Biles. It's going to make a big difference. So she's going to kill the army on the ground, but the question is she defending her 3rd base? Because the mutas are right there. She's not. Mutas, actually, a lot of them went down, I think. Yeah, 4 mutas fell.
It's so worth it.
Oh, it's
so worth it to kill that base. Oh.
Yeah,
Baneling speed.
That's what I was trying to say before Cham went and killed it. Cham has the read that Scarlett's transitioning into Hydras here. The normal way you do this is you get Hydras to get Lurkers. That's it. You know, you defend with Queen Spore, but because Scarlett's Queen count was so low, she needed some other way to get anti-air, which means you go Hydras, which means you get Baneling speed, you crash them in, take advantage of your superior economy and production, and it becomes very dicey. Now, Cham on the north side, he does take a couple miles once again, but at this point, trades don't matter nearly as much. Scarlett lost her third. She doesn't have a fourth. Cham has both.
One thing we got to mention, though, that even though the +1 missile and the Bane speed are about to complete, for one, we also have +2 missile for Scarlett, so she's going to have a big upgrade advantage, but there was no Lings on the field. So this razor-thin timing before Lurkers is going to, I think it disappears. I think Scarlett, she can morph in the Lurkers in time. She's getting 3 of them before the Banelings morph on in. Where are the Lings, actually? There, they morph on the wrong side of the map. And Scarlett's going to have at least 3 Lurkers out in time. There was a timing here. There was absolutely a timing. It was razor thin, but I don't think there is any more. And if you try and run Banelings and Roaches into defensively set up Lurkers, I can tell you that does not work out well. Now, it's only 3 Lurkers, but it is going to be very difficult for Cham to get anything done here.
And remember, the Steadfast, the big thing as well, Scarlett lost that third base. She does not have a fourth. She's trying to take it right now. She does not have a lot of gas. So here come the Banelings rolling for it, and they're just going to tap the base down? Yeah, they are. So the base gets canceled, and this is a massive concave coming in from Cham on every side. Biles are not getting the Lurkers, though, just yet, and there's no detection from Cham whatsoever. Cham has no way to deal with the Lurkers. She's going to drop Biles, and actually, that's going to get 1 damage on another, but yeah, Cham gets the 4th base. Yeah, Cham gets more. It actually looks like Banelings ran into the 3rd as well, killed 20 workers, but it does start to get a little closer. Just a little bit. If Cham maybe gets 3-4 more of those fights that are that expensive, maybe that's going to be Scarlett coming back. But right now, 20 workers and losing the 4th base, that may end up doing it here as the Roaches, Ravagers on the right side, going to try to get as many queens as possible. Scarlett repositions, but I don't know how she gets the 4th base for like forever now.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough. She needs to turtle super hard at this point. And she just doesn't have the units to save both bases right now. Corrosive Biles not going to land on the Lurkers, only one of them hitting home. And this might be the fight that Scarlett's looking for right here to try and find a really efficient defense. But she does need to fight in range of those Lurkers. Oh, she needs to get a wall on the natural. Nice snipe right there from Cham. The Roaches get past, though, and that might be the death knell. That might end up being a little bit too much. Spore Crawler will go down just before it kills that last Muta. Lurkers on the right side. They are going to be able to hold for the moment, but the supplies are just so massively in favor of Cham. He's killed 17 drones now. He's in the main. He's in the 3rd. He's in the natural. And Scarlett dipping below 100 supply. I think she might just be out of this one here.
Yeah, nothing much left for the Queen of Blades at this point. Ripped down off her Iron Throne by the champion of Latin America. And at this point, you're right, Steadfast. She has 3 bases, technically. She has workers, technically. And she has Lurkers. I mean, I guess have workers will play. But sometimes it doesn't matter that Roaches fight. Lurkers, not at all. It doesn't matter that you have a hive and your opponent doesn't. There's just too much stuff here. So Cham, we might wait to see him remax and go again, or just continue pressing forward. But any trade that he gets at this point will be a favorable one. He's up 2 bases. He's up 45 workers. How many good fights does she need to take to even have a shot? Like the tiniest bit of a puncher's chance.
She needs Cham to not be on Hive, and he's got 3 Vipers about to pop. That's it. That's the thing. He needs to flub this so hard, and he's not going to. He's going to find the Lurkers not covering this base. Actually, he doesn't snipe it down right just yet. Does avoid the Corrosive Biles. Takes a pretty bad fight, but he's up 100 supply. He's up 40 workers. I will say I feel pretty confident I could probably win this game from here. It's a defensively oriented Scarlett. She's in a it's tough. Don't get me wrong. But this is such a gigantic advantage. By the way, this hatchery is on a 12 HP. It is. It transfuses. It just went up astronomically, you know? Yeah. That's huge. Percentage-wise, it just jumped like 200, 400, 500, 600%. But I just don't see a way. Now, this is really nice out of Scarlett. She had some changelings on this base. She sneaks a lurker in for the harassment. And you know what? I mean, it's going to get 4 drones. That's nowhere near enough, but it's nice.
I appreciate your copium. You know, we don't want to, we want to do the caster thing of games. There's still a shot. It is 100 army supply. It is 100 supply for Cham at this point. Scarlett will never get a 4th base. Lurkers are good, but Cham is getting himself up into that tech if he wants it as well. Here come the Vipers running forward, and this really should do it. Massive blinding clouds on top of everything. Lurkers are going to unburrow, reburrow, and actually there is one lurker that is, you know, getting some damage. But at the end of the day, Cham shows that his form in DreamHack Latin America, his ability to take down Dark in the WTL, well, it was well-founded, and Scarlett gets knocked out on the first opportunity, day 1 of Katowice, which is not the result she was looking for. Cham, though, he's got to be ecstatic.